Welcome to our year-end New Year's Christmas show. We're going to close the year, and we're not going to do what we normally do, which is to review the events of the week, the events of the past month. It's the end of the year. We have Christmas season, New Year's. So let's come up with grand visions of things that we can actually hope for next year. And I'm just going to outline what our wishes and hopes are for next year. First, we'll start off with the most important thing, which is peace and security for our country and the world. That's our first wish. Then we move on to freedom for our hostages. Then for our Prime Minister to learn the difference between being shrewd and being wise. For our church to understand that her primary job is to serve the people, and it's not the people's job to serve the church. Let's hope for a public discourse which does not include people's sex lives or personal parts. What we can hope for is another round of honest and free elections next year without any foreign interference. Hopefully the election of a prime minister that only has opponents at home and enemies abroad and not the other way around. I hope that after the next election we get a better quality opposition in our parliament. I'm hoping that next year Yerevan Mayor Tigran Avinian learns that trees are not our enemies. For our military, I hope for faster reforms and faster weapons deliveries. For our Speaker of our Parliament, Alan Simonian, what I hope for is an ambassadorship to a small, distant Caribbean island. What we can move towards the elections next year is to have an election in which our choices are not between criminals and incompetence. At our football federation, we all hope for mass resignations. For our former presidents, we hope that all of them take a very long vacation until next year's elections, because our elections need to be about the future and not the past. For our new parliament, I'm hoping that all of our members have IQs that are at least 3 times their normal shoe size. For the people of Gaza, we wish you peace and justice. We hope for a government that defends and fights for the rights of our brothers and sisters ethnically cleansed from Artsakh and does not attack them to score cheap political points. For Gagik Tsarukyan, we wish you a happy and successful completion of your Jesus statue, and for once again teaching us that great wealth does not have to go with good taste. I hope for our society to learn that we don't need Halloween, Black Fridays, or gender reveal parties. We have our own traditions that we need to upkeep. Let's not become a copy of a copy. We hope that our judges and prosecutors will no longer take orders from politicians. For our countless hardworking business leaders who are actually transforming this country before our eyes in so many positive ways, we wish you greater success next year. We hope that next year, cleaning our air in Yerevan actually becomes a primary political issue. We hope that next year, respect for teachers is not just in the first and the last day of school with flowers, but every day with decent pay and gratitude from everyone involved in our education system. I hope this is the year that we learn that expensive cars are not that important. What's important is being educated, being worldly, and most importantly, being compassionate. I also hope this is a year that our political leaders stop their war on our history to cover up for their own failures. To our enemies, what I wish for you is flies on your eyeballs. In conclusion, and in close, to our soldiers, we wish you a peaceful year, and once again, thank you for your service. I wish all of our audience to have a good and prosperous year, and once again, thank you for putting up with me for another year. We will be back mid-January. Thank you for joining us at last week's episode of Insights.